my balls. Suck my balls.
How would you children like to suck on my chocolate salty balls?
Oh, you mean like a chocolate candy?
No, I mean my balls.
Suck my balls.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Suck my balls.
welcome back
Suck
to
my balls.
another edition
Suck my
of
balls.
SMB,
Suck my
a
balls.
South Park review. I'm host the heat. I can't be beat. Every guy who's high where the air is dry.
Suck my
Ya
balls.
boy, MSG,
Suck
and
my
we have returned. We're back to review more South Park, or I should say, I'm back. There's nobody behind me. There's nobody sitting on the couch. It's just me. You're watching this on the video portion. If you're listening to the audio, it's just me, MSG. Shout out to my boy Dane Becker, who, as I recorded this morning, notified me that he got a brand new job. So shout out to Dane. Looks like he'll be heading even further south, down to Georgia. Shout out to our boy JV, Joe Vernola, still on the mend, and of course, the S to the C, the double OP, Scoop Jackson. But ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk more South Park with you. It is the season 14 premiere. It is episode 196 of South Park, and it is SMB number 199. And ladies and gentlemen, this is sexual healing. So let's talk about it. The latest in scientific testing reveals that some of the boys at South Park Elementary have a sex addiction problem. So here's how the episode begins. It starts off with Cartman and Kenny playing the latest Tiger Woods PGA Tour golf game, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 11, which in truth is more of a domestic abuse fighting game in which Tiger Woods and his wife Ellen beat each other following Tiger's constant sexual affairs. And while this is ongoing, there's a group of scientists who begin to question why so many men, particularly those who are rich and famous, are having so many sexual affairs. And rather than admit to the men are to blame for their own actions, they begin to justify that a man's desire for sex by claiming it is due to a disease called sexual addiction. So let's start off the episode with these boys playing Tiger Woods and some scientists questioning why, what's going on here? I don't understand. So here we go, Windermere, Florida.
Put the golf club down, you crazy bitch!
You motherfucker!
I never should have married you.
They're fighting there. So we jump forward now here. Here's the boys as they're showing they're playing it.
For Xbox.
You Tiger Woods PGA Tour for Xbox.
Ah, fuck you, cuz!
Stop breaking through the window, Kenny. What are you guys doing? Dude, check it out. It's EA Sports Tiger Woods PGA Tour 11 for Xbox.
Xbox 360.
Ah, fuck
As you
you,
can see there,
cuz!
there's like quick time events for them to do
I'm
stuff.
gonna crash.
I'm gonna crash. He's like, he knows it's part of the game.
Ah, look what you did, you crazy bitch!
Serves you right, you cheating third.
Now it's a swing, so Ellen
Oh, dude,
swings.
was that a combo move? Oh, dude,
Yeah,
here come
dude,
the
I
cops.
effed you
You
up.
gotta lie to them. Hit X to lie.
Hit X to
I
lie.
didn't know golf games were this cool. Yeah, dude, EA Sports outdid themselves this time.
Yes, better. Yeah, I did it this time. So following this, now we jump back, as I mentioned. Now the scientists are going to try to decide what is going on. Why are all these men having sexual addictions?
As you've all seen on the news, our country is facing a major crisis.
Major
and
crisis.
we need to find out what's causing it. Why? Why are rich, successful men suddenly going out and trying to have sex with lots of women? Tiger Woods was only the
Tiger
most
Woods.
prevalent, but our data shows that the numbers are growing.
The numbers are growing, people. The numbers are growing. It's unfortunate. Numbers are growing. So now they come up with a device or a test, if you will, that they're going to prove their case that there is sexual addiction, and it potentially starts at a young age. So they're going to start testing children from the ages of 4th grade to high school. And of course, that leads us to South Park Elementary. So we go to South Park Elementary, where one of the members of that CDC comes in. He delivers the test. He holds up I guess it might be considered a classic historian vintage picture of a woman who's nude, painted, and she's holding a handkerchief. And they have the boys and girls look at the naked picture and ask afterwards, what color was the woman's handkerchief? Everybody apparently gets this right except for Kyle, Kenny, and Butters, who asked the question, what handkerchief? And as a result, they are then diagnosed as sex addicts. So let's go to the handkerchief test.
Show you a suggestive picture.
A suggestive
and
picture.
then I'm going to ask you a question about the picture.
The picture.
All right, ready? Here we go.
So there you go.
Oh,
naked lady.
Woo woo!
Kenny's, of course,
Jesus, dude.
stoked.
Holy moly, what's that between the lady's legs? It's all bushy.
Please just study the picture the best you can, students. I'll then ask you a question which you'll answer on the paper provided.
I never seen that part of a lady. Do they all got a head like that? Do they?
Okay, very good. Now, what color was the handkerchief in the nice lady's hand? Write down your answer, please. What color was the handkerchief in the nice lady's hand?
Did you see the bush on that lady? What the heck was that?
So, of course, now the question comes up. Who wrote down, as I mentioned?
Who answered that the handkerchief was yellow?
Yellow. Everybody raise their hand.
Very good indeed. Now I'd like to see who answered what handkerchief.
That was Kenny. Kyle even's like, oh, that was me. And then Butters. So he tells them, come with me, boys. So then those boys now are diagnosed, as I mentioned, as sex addicts. Crazy, right? Sex addicts. Who knows? So now, inside this doctor's office, the doctor explains to them that eventually it's going to result in them killing themselves due to autoerotic asphyxiation in some sort of Batman costume, a concept that Kenny actually finds exciting and later does. His mom calls him for dinner in the next scene, and she finds him dead from autoerotic asphyxiation, much to her horror. And then we jump immediately over to the funeral now, where we see Kenny, Kyle, and Butters begin to grow more and more disturbed by their condition at the funeral. I'm sorry, for Kenny. Kyle and Butters begin to grow more and more disturbed by their condition. Butters becomes obsessed by women's public hair, and Kyle tries to fight the possible future addiction as they start to have this meltdown in public. While this is going on, Cartman and Stan are oblivious to us all playing Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2011.
Sorry, but you're simply too dangerous to have around normal, well-adjusted students.
It was just so big and bushy, sir. Why does it look like that? So what happens to us now?
A life of desperation and anguish, I'm afraid. Your addiction will start off slowly, magazines, internet sites, but then as you keep chasing your high, your taste will get more and more dangerous. Most likely, you'll end up going the way of David Carradine and Michael Hutchins. Autoerotic
asphyxiation. Kenny perks up. What's that? What's
I don't
that?
want to go into too much detail, but you choke yourself with a belt around your neck while masturbating dressed up like Batman or something, then you pass out from lack of air, and apparently it makes your orgasm super awesome.
Why would you tell the boys this? Why would you tell these children this? So here's his mom now finding him dead.
Kenny?
And then, as I mentioned, we immediately jumped to the funeral.
Sunset and evening star.
Sunset and
one
evening
clear
star.
call for me. And may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out
God,
to sea.
it's true.
So Kyle there now realizing that this sex addiction thing is real. Here's Butters now. He's going to start having a breakdown about this bush.
Just like this, but smaller. And right in the place your underwear should have been. If I trim it down...
If I trim it down,
Look right,
I look right.
Butters, stop it! But this is what I keep seeing in my head. Butters, we are sick, don't you get it? We're gonna end up just like Kenny. No, if I can just see it again, I'll be fine. No,
Now they start
Butters,
wrestling,
stop.
fighting.
Leave me alone. Stop it. Stop.
If you want to see that full clip, check out our TikTok. It's up there right now. This is one of my favorite seasons, so I have some clips, I think, from every episode of this season. So go to our TikTok at SouthParkPods if you want to see the full fight and breakdown there. Let's get back, moving forward into the episode now. So the boys, of course, have been diagnosed with sex addiction, as we mentioned. Now, in order to fight their problem, Kyle and Butters must check into the Karma Institute for Sex Addiction. Now, with them in the center are going to be Michael Douglas, Michael Jordan, Ben Roethlisberger, David Duchovny, Charlie Sheen, David Letterman, Bill Clinton, Billy Bob Thornton, Kobe Bryant, Elliot Spitzer, and, of course, Tiger Woods. However, rather than admitting to their own faults and poor judgment, the center instead places the blame on the fact that they got caught cheating and does not bother to teach them their impulses. When Kyle calls the counselor on this, the counselor instead calls the scientist behind the study and says, "We've got a turd in the punch bowl." Let's go to a couple scenes now.
Rocker, I never should have married you!
Ah!
Here's Stan,
Damn it,
Cartman once again.
Oh, dude, I clocked you. I told you this game is sweet, dude.
Yeah, Stan's in on it now,
I'm
dude.
switching to a 7-iron.
Switching to a 7-iron.
Oh, man, I lost another endorsement. How'd you do that? Hit A and X together.
Hit A and X together to lose an endorsement. All right, so here's the boys now being introduced to the Sex Addicts Club.
And would you care to share your stories with us, boys?
Well, I just found out I'm a sex addict. I'm so scared. I haven't even told my mom yet.
Does your mom have big tits?
Billy!
Sorry.
Me, I just can't stop thinking about bush.
I heard that.
I mean, it's like, what is it? What does it mean? Why would there be a bush right there? Is it a live bush? Are there berries?
Mr.
Are there
Duchovny,
berries?
please stop jerking off.
David
Ah,
Duchovny
gee whiz.
jerking off. So now Kyle, as we mentioned, he's going to call them out on this BS about cheating here. He's going to mention.
Good. You are all here in therapy because you got caught. So how do we avoid
Butters
getting
sitting
caught?
there like
Ben
trimming
Roethlisberger,
a bush.
Don't screw girls in the public bathrooms. When they ask you for money, pay them. Good, yes.
Whoa, hang on. We shouldn't be learning how not to get caught. We have to take responsibility for our actions.
All of them start looking.
What the fuck are you talking
I mean, we have to accept that we have a problem and put the blame completely on ourselves. I mean, maybe this isn't really even a disease.
You got to turn the punch bowl. Picks up the phone.
Yeah, it's me. We've got a turd in the punch bowl.
They got a turd in the punch bowl. All right, so now the scientists, meanwhile, run a series of tests involving a chimpanzee who is given a large piles of cash. He demonstrates the same behavior as Tiger Woods, cheating on his mate with assorted other females, being caught and then being beaten by his mate, and then making a press conference apology. This finding is then sent to President Obama, who claimed that the source of addiction could only have come from one source: aliens. The alien that crashed at Roswell, New Mexico, apparently released a sex addiction virus. So the scientists claim that the alien is housed at the Independence Hall, and a team is sent to go find the alien and kill it. Meanwhile, the members of the sex addiction rehab clinic are going to be helicoptered out to Independence Hall to be cured.
Blending in seamlessly with the others. Now watch.
Now
We're
watch.
going to give it a lot of money.
I'm going to give this monkey now a
Go
bunch
ahead.
of money. They just drop a bunch of money on it. All of a sudden, this money tripping monkey starts having sex with other monkeys. Monkey sex. Get it on, monkey style. Monkey style. Then here's the wife. She's going to come in. She starts beating him. And he gets shunned by everybody, as the scientists will mention.
The subject is now isolated and shunned.
Incredible. And what's it doing now?
Now it's giving a press
Making
conference.
a public apology on its talk show.
So as you can see there, the monkey got caught and he exhibited the same characteristics of Tiger Woods there in a sense. Okay, now, so here's them in the president's office.
For clues. We tried to find something in the $100 bills that could explain why this is happening now. Then we looked at the backside and found this.
Down this.
Independence Hall, the birthplace of our country.
We believe something is happening at Independence Hall that gives money its power over men.
Independence Hall. Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Aliens.
Aliens.
Gentlemen, I might know what's causing the sex addiction outbreak. This is highly classified, but in 1947,
Now he's gonna
flying
break it all
saucer
down.
was discovered in Roswell, New Mexico.
There's an alien.
2 deceased alien bodies were recovered and hidden from public knowledge. They carried a virus
He's
with
doing this
them.
all in front of Michelle.
A virus that apparently was only barely stopped from spreading all over the country. And you think these aliens could be back with a new virus? One originating from Independence Hall, causing rich, successful men to have sex with lots of women? It's the only explanation that makes any sense.
Then he looks around, looks at Michelle. It's the only explanation that makes any sense. All right, so jumping back now into the Tiger Woods game, they even have the live press conference as part of the game. Here's a clip from that.
Speculated that my wife somehow hurt or attacked me on Thanksgiving night. It angers me that people would fabricate a story like that. She has shown nothing but grace and poise.
You motherfucker!
Oh, no!
I should have never married you!
Ah, stop it!
A porn star? You screwed a porn star? Dude, you found another girl's phone number on my cell phone? Yeah, back in that water level.
Back in that water level. All right, check this out now.
Is Kyle still at sex addiction therapy? That must be really intense.
Oh, my goodness. All right, so now at Independence Hall, the president leads his strike force and claims that the alien must be invisible, making him a wizard alien. As the claim is made, one of the soldiers finally breaks, deciding that this whole wizard alien explanation has finally become too ridiculous. He goes on to say that every time a celebrity has an affair, men act as if they are bewildered and shocked, but given the same opportunity, a normal man would do the same thing. He finishes by saying that while they should not condone the celebrity's behavior, men also should not act like they don't understand it. So after making this declaration, he is captured by his fellow soldiers, dressed up in a poorly made wizard alien costume, because there's a turd in the punch bowl. While this is going on, meanwhile, Kyle and Butters are selected to help the task force to kill the alien wizard. So giving them guns, releasing the soldier in the costume, the president, scientists, and soldiers use a strobe light to convince Kyle and Butters to shoot the soldier several times until they finally kill him. And then this all makes all the sex addiction individuals feel like they've been cured, as they start over dramatically dancing in a fashion claiming to have been cured with the death of the alien. So here's a little bit of that speech from that guy I was referencing about, come on guys, just take responsibility for it.
And opportunities that somebody like Tiger Woods has, a lot of us guys might do something similar.
There's a turd in the punch bowl.
We have a turd in the punch bowl.
And then all of a sudden they
Turd in the punch bowl.
Hey, what are you doing? No, come on. Where are you taking me?
So they take him away. As I mentioned now, Kyle and Butters are going to be selected as a task force to come in and kill this alien.
Told that you think sex addiction can be controlled.
Yeah.
That it just takes restraint. Is that true?
I just think I'd rather control it instead of blame it on anything.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Then the wizard alien spell might not have any power over him. He could draw the bastard out. Quick, give that boy a gun.
What?
You better
Kyle, what?
All right, everyone to the stairwell.
Butters gets a gun too.
Bastard's gotta be upstairs.
We know
What
Butters
the-
likes to shoot people in the dick.
Alien wizard hiding out here. Come on, we've got to...
So now they bring this guy out.
What the hell was that?
What the hell
Bad
was that?
about this. Oh my god, there it is! It's the alien wizard! It's gonna get you, boys! Shoot it!
They're using strobe lights.
Shoot it, boys! You have to shoot it! Shoot it again, it's still alive! You gotta reload!
Keep firing, boys. Shoot it in the heart.
Keep shooting it! Shoot him in his blabbermouth!
Shoot him in his blabbermouth. They got rid of him.
God, they've done it!
They're just standing in a pool of blood as all these stupid guys start dancing.
It's leaving my body. I can feel it. I'm free.
Yeah.
We are healed.
So, so stupid. These guys are just dancing in the middle of the street, making a big deal of it. The fact that they think their sex addiction it's cured now. Oh, crazy. So now, meanwhile, following this, to wrap up the episode, Kyle's and Butters are given medals and are asked how they feel. Kyle seems confused and concerned about the course of events, reluctantly saying he's fine. And Butters begins ranting that he does not want to see Bush again after a last paying a woman to let it see it in real life, and feeling disgusted by the ugly Joker lips that he saw beneath it. Tiger Woods then gives a speech saying that with the death of the wizard alien, his sex addiction is gone and he can be faithful to his wife. He also states that his wife will not have to get revenge by sleeping with a bunch of guys, at which point his wife gives him a shifty-eyed look but says nothing, implying that she will likely just do that and that he will return to golf. So we'll show that scene, and then we're going to show the closing scene with Cartman and Stan getting upset at the new Tiger Woods game. Before moving on, I should also mention here, throughout the episode, there were these small little tidbits with Randy and Sharon in bed, where Randy was like, why would guys want to have sex with their wife? So this is the wrap-up portion of this.
Oh, I'm so glad it's over, Sharon, aren't you?
We are now with the young boys who helped stop the alien. Boys, how does it feel to be free of your illness?
I guess it Feels great. Thanks.
And then Butters.
Yeah, it feels great. I never want to see Bush again. I finally paid a lady to show me hers. You want to know what's under that bush? Nothing but a pair of sick Joker lips.
Oh, Butters. Here's a speech I was talking about now here with Tiger and his wife.
Feel any need to get revenge by sleeping with a bunch of guys.
His wife starts looking around. And then finally, now here's how the episode wraps up. Stan and Kyle, I'll start. Cartman and Stan are upset by the fact that the Tiger Woods game now becomes an actual golf game. They probably did an update, removed all the domestic abuse stuff out. Now it's just golf. So here's Tiger Woods playing golf. Nice shot.
What the hell?
Hi, Cartman.
This game's all boring now. Yeah, where's all the fighting? Dude, screw this. Who wants to hit a dumb little ball around? Yeah, golf is stupid again.
Oh, boy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the episode wraps up. So that is going to do it for this edition here on another edition of SMB, a South Park review. On this side, we'll be back with some more trivia, pop culture, and references to continuity and more. Stick around. We'll be right back. Subscribe to Suck My Balls, a South Park review on Spotify, Apple's, iTunes, anywhere you want to download a podcast. Just type that in, subscribe to our feed. You'll get the latest, greatest episode each and every week. You can also listen to us on YouTube and go back and watch some videos or any of our library. It's all there. Suck My Balls, South Park review.
Suck my balls.
Welcome back on the other
balls.
side. Once again, shout out to our sponsors. They're
Suck my
provided by
balls.
Spreaker.
Suck my
Check us out,
balls.
linktr.ee/SouthParkPod.
Suck my balls. Suck my balls.
SouthParkPod.
Suck my balls.
Linktree/SouthParkPod.
Suck my balls.
Like and subscribe on all outlets. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're watching right here on YouTube. And ladies and gentlemen, I am not the 2022 Red Rocks Day 1 South Park Trivia Champion. I am not Joe Vernola. I am not a trivia god. But I will do my best. Here's some trivia for you on this edition of SMB. The promotional trailers for the episode showed Cartman standing behind Tiger Woods during his press conference, where Woods stated that he believed that he was allowed to be a sex addict. This does not actually appear in the episode. Ellie Nordgren technically never speaks, as all of her speaking rules were during a video game. Butters is always referred to as Bummers by the counselor. And finally, Matthew Kinner, the winner of the Become a South Park Citizen Sweepstakes, was animated into the opening sequence during the crowd scene specifically for this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your trivia. Nice and quick. All right, now let's go ahead and we'll jump into some pop culture. Shout out to Dane Becker once again. Brand new job. Just got it. Landed the job. Let's go, Becker. Pop culture. The title of the episode is a reference to the song Sexual Healing by Marvin Gaye, which is heard near the end of the episode. The events of the video game are references to actual events that occurred involving professional golfer Tiger Woods and his extramarital affairs during Thanksgiving in November of 2009. His wife, Ellen Nordgren, accuses him of infidelity after finding text messages on his phone of another woman and confronting her via phone call, as well as after reading a tabloid story about the affair 2 days earlier. He had taken the prescription medicine Vicodin shortly before the crash. He shears a fire hydrant and eventually crashes his SUV into a tree at 2:25 a.m., a short distance from his Florida mansion after his wife had chased him out of their house with a golf club and smashed the back of his window of his SUV. Ellen renegotiates their prenup before eventually filing for divorce in 2010. And then he held a press conference to apologize to his family and friends for his actions. During the scientists' meeting, a possible reason to why everyone is being a sex addict is that their water supply is infected. This is a reference to the film The Crazies. One soldier in Obama's strike force says, I had a bad feeling about this. Of course, that's Han Solo's reference from Star Wars. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker also say that name. Say that thing when something feels weird. The poem being read at Kenny's funeral is called Crossing the Bar, written by Alfred Lord Tennyson from 1889. That's a long time ago. This was the first and only episode that Ben Roethlisberger was in. We already went all over the names. As I mentioned, the sex addicts were Ben Roethlisberger, Billy Bob Thornton, Bill Clinton, Charlie Sheen, David Duchovny, David Letterman, Elliot Spitzer, Kobe Bryant, Michael Douglas, Michael Jordan, and Tiger Woods. Inside the video game are references to various video games. Inside the GameStop or Game Shop store, you want to call it. There was a reference to Tiger Woods' game. There's a poster here for Guitar Hero. There was a 2001 Okama Game Sphere. There was a Blizzard Entertainment, Diablo 2, and Warcraft 3 poster, as well as a magazine featuring Optimus Prime from the Transformers. And ladies and gentlemen, that's your pop culture. That's some of your pop culture. Hope you enjoyed that. All right, now let's go ahead here. We'll get into some continuity. Kenny already learned about the high one gets from choking himself in from Mr. Mackey during major boobage. That's a good point. However, this is the first time he associated sex with it. This is President Obama's second appearance, first one being about last night. Michelle Obama is seen in this episode as well. This is the second time the monkeys are used as sex subjects. Of course, the first time being in last week's episode P. Every time the men claim that normal men can do not obsess over sex or claim a bizarre reason for why men behave that way, they look shifty-eyed toward a woman near them, presumably their wives, as if to gauge whether their story is being bought. Randy explains to Stan that that is the right way to lie in Pinewood Derby. This is also a distinct deviation from the rather obvious clues that all or most of the men had seen or at least heard of the pornographic video Backdoor Sluts 9, back in the Return of the Fellowship of the Ring of the Two Towers. Instead, when any person comes forward to suggest that they do not take responsibility, they enact the turd in the punch bowl defense. And that is your continuity, your references to pop culture, your trivia, your full episode recap. Ladies and gentlemen, what did I think of this episode? It was a decent episode. I think it was funny and relevant back at a time when Tiger Woods first committed all these atrocities and crimes, if you will, against his wife. Not against, other people, just against his marriage, if you will. And he probably shouldn't have been driving drunk on Vicodin, so that is a public safety hazard, of course. But I wasn't really the biggest fan watching it over and over. Like, it was funny back then, like I said, because of the pop culture tie-in and how relevant it was and all over the news. So it was funny to see South Park go after him. Years later, I don't know if I can sit here and say that like this episode is entirely comedic to me. Butters has some high moments for sure with some of his lines in the bush, fighting with Kyle, Joker lips, Kenny killing himself. So there's like a couple moments where there's some funny parts, but overall, like I don't grade this episode as a high standard of comedy that South Park has and will continue to show you in the preceding episodes through this season, which I'm excited to get into the next one, which I think the next one is a very hysterically funny episode in itself. There's a lot of funny moments and the story itself is just over the top and ridiculous that it has comedy. Whereas in this one is more of them, Matt Stone and Trey Parker taking shots at rich guys who basically utilize different excuses for the fact that they're just pieces of shit who cheat on their wife, right? Just because you have money, wealth, and fame doesn't mean all of a sudden you need to commit infidelity. There are multiple celebrities and politicians and religious members of their seculars that continue to be loyal to their significant other. So that was Matt Stone and Trey Parker kind of going after the fact that, Tiger Woods, he committed all these things. The media blew it up. It's a whole take on that itself. So looking back on it, it's got some funny moments, but I don't feel like it's a top 100 episode of South Park for me. Episode that maybe if it comes on, I might watch it in the background. But even watching this episode and reviewing it took me a couple times to get through it to want to review this episode just because it was a harder episode to laugh along to and have all those funny moments and get excited about. But overall, it's not a bad episode. South Park never really puts out any bad episodes. It's just not one of their top 100 episodes for me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another edition of SMB, a South Park review. You can go ahead and check out Linktr.ee/SouthParkPod. Find us at SouthParkPods on all outlets. And of course, come back next week for Season 14, Episode 2, The Tale of Scrody McBoogerballs. What happens when the boys write a naughty book? Will they take responsibility for it? Will they shift the blame? And what happens when the all-new game comes to town? How long can you not vomit while listening to Scrody McBoogerballs on audio tape? Whatever it is. You can check out that clip on our South Park Pods, on TikTok, on all media outlets. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your boy, host of the Heat. I can't be beat. Every guy is high with the MS, where the air is dry. And this has been another edition of SMB, a South Park Review. We'll see you next week.